Hey, this is Dr. J with God's Word, no cap. The Lord is my shepherd. Psalms 23 simply starts out with, the Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need. And I want to put in brackets, when you're writing and you are providing a direct quote, but you want to add something that's relevant to you that's not a part of that direct quote, I'm going to add that. Even in storms, the Lord is my shepherd. I have everything I need, brackets, even in storms. Last year, my faith was really put to the test in this regard, whether or not to believe that I had everything I needed in a storm. Yes, I had gone through some tight places and spaces and difficult places and challenging space, awkward places many times before in my life. But every time that I was stretched in a storm, I wasn't stretched to unknown limits, right? They were familiar limits. Not that I wanted to be there, but they were familiar. God would pull me back, pull me up, pull me in, gather me, and get me straight, right? And I'd be on my way. However, last year I found myself stretched in ways that I didn't know I could be stretched in. Whereas I had been to the edge many times and been pulled back, this time I was left dangling over the edge with no parachute, no life-saving device. I was just suspended, just the wide abyss under me. And so as I was dangling over the abyss, I started to squint, and I squinted so hard that I saw God there with me. I just hung on, and he was suspended too, right along with me. I just hung on with my thoughts going wild, my emotions all over the place, wondering why it had to be this way. How was this going to be resolved? And I just stayed there, y'all, and I cried out to God, but I stayed there. I stayed there. I didn't fall. I didn't slip. I didn't wipe out. I just remained in the storm while it raged. Funny, there's a phrase that people use when people sometimes complain about something. They'll say, "But did you die?" That's an LOL. Because I didn't. Emotionally, mentally, I didn't die as I was there, suspended over the abyss. But seriously, suspended over the abyss of my crazy life circumstances, God held me tight and he inspired me to believe in him on a new level. I was encouraged to see a new dynamic of his care and of his compassion, and the fact that no storm was truly big enough to sever our relationship or to disrupt the plans that he had for my life. He showed me that he had my back as I maneuvered adversity. But he also reminded me to expect him to move on my behalf once and for all. At the end of the day, your expectation of me, Jen, is key. He did just that. He moved on my behalf. And in fact, he moved exceeding abundantly above what I could ask or think, especially for my heart and my mind. Listen, Job 23, 8-12 says this: "Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I do not perceive him. On the left hand, when he is working, I do not behold him. He turns to the right hand, and I do not see him. But he knows the way that I take. When he has tried me, I shall come out as gold. My foot has held fast to his steps. I have kept his way and have not turned aside. I have not departed from the commandment of his lips. I have treasured the words of his mouth more than my portion of food." Family, I challenge you to grab a few key promises of God's. Some of his promises of his personal care and in relationship for you from his word. Grab them, write them down, read them, recite them, think about them, relate them to your life constantly, share them with someone else, live them out boldly, unflinchingly, like he says that we can do. Write them out, put them on the wall in key places where you can see them all the time. And remember that the Lord really is your shepherd, and you really do have everything that you need, brackets, even in the storm. Listen, this is Dr. J, here with God's Word, no cap.